The Simpsons have kept one of the longest running conspiracy theories ever. For more than 30 years, fans have been wondering, where is Springfield? Even if you think you know the answer, you're probably wrong.
Dad, you're not pointing anywhere near Springfield. It's over here, Apu. Hey, what you doing?
So I have spent the last of my remaining sanity trying to solve this impossible question. And did I succeed? Probably, I don't know. But what I can say is that I think I have found the most logical answer for the location of Springfield. Today, I'm going to take you through one of the deepest rabbit holes ever and finally get to the bottom of this mystery. The town makes no sense from a fictional or theoretical standpoint. Springfield not only has an entire coastline, but lakes, mountains, forests, deserts, and somehow even borders Ohio, Nevada, Maine, and Kentucky. I'm not even going to repeat myself. I think the logical next step is to start eliminating states. First, in the Simpsons movie, Ned and Bart start to form a special bond, and Ned tells Bart about the states that border Springfield.
You can see the 4 states that border Springfield: Ohio, Nevada, Maine, and Kentucky.
So right off the bat, those 4 states, as well as Alaska, because the Simpsons relocate to Alaska when they go on the run. So another state is eliminated.
Welcome to Alaska. Here's $1,000.
Well, it's about time.
Next, in season 5, episode 8, Boy Scouts in the Hood, Bart and Homer go on a camp trip, and as they are in the middle of getting lost, Homer looks at a map and says,
Hey, there's a New Mexico.
That joke only works if New Mexico is far enough away from Springfield that it feels irrelevant to Homer's daily life. If Springfield were in New Mexico, that line doesn't land. You don't forget your own state. Well, for Homer maybe, but I'm gonna say that New Mexico is eliminated. Now here's a subtle one. In season 3, episode 23, Bart's friend falls in love. Milhouse moves away and he relocates to Capital City. And Capital City is close enough that characters travel there casually by car multiple times throughout the series. That implies Springfield is not in a geographically massive state where driving to the capital would take an entire day. That makes Texas less convincing, and it makes California even trickier. Speaking of California, the state does match the coastline of Springfield, but there's a reason that it gets eliminated. Take season 4, episode 21, March and Chains, as an example. Springfield gets quarantined and the media frenzy treats the town like an oddity, not like sitting inside America's largest and most globally recognized state. If Springfield were in California, national news would constantly reference California itself. Instead, Springfield is treated as its own weird bubble, so California is out. Let's switch things up a bit and move on to terrain inconsistencies. In season 14, episode 2, How I Spent My Summer Vacation, the mountain ridges behind Springfield are sharp, steep, and high enough to hold snowcaps. These are not Appalachian mountains. Appalachian peaks are older and rounded. That knocks out most of the East Coast, including Virginia, Tennessee, and the Carolinas. Now for Florida. Season 6, episode 8, Lisa on Ice. Springfield is buried in snow to the point that the entire town revolves around hockey season. Florida does not have consistent heavy snowfall. Add that to Springfield's visible mountain ranges in season 14, episode 2, and Florida collapses instantly. No mountains, no snow, eliminated. I think a good step to take is to eliminate states that the Simpsons have visited, like Florida in season 11, episode 19, Kill the Alligator and Run, where Homer kills the state's beloved alligator mascot.
Dad, look out!
Look out forward!
The giant gator.
The giant!
Making them fugitives, and they briefly consider moving to Arizona or North Dakota, so there goes 3 more states. The Simpsons have also visited or referenced other states that are pretty self-explanatory for why I will be eliminating these states. Colorado is visited in season 17, episode 20, Double Double Boy in Trouble. In season 3, episode 2, Lisa travels to Washington, D.C. for a spelling bee competition. The family travels to New York City in season 9, episode 1, The City of New York. This is Homer Simpson. And there's states that get mentioned, like Delaware in season 11, episode 22, Behind the Laughter, and season 12, episode 21, Simpsons Tall Tales, as they both reference Delaware almost like a punchline. Then you also have other states that get mentioned but don't have a lot to back it, like Idaho, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, New Jersey, and South Dakota that usually get referenced in jokes about Mount Rushmore. But just saying these states get referenced is a bit lazy. Let's take a look at these states from a geographical point, and to make it easier we can again start to eliminate the states that are landlocked, which include Idaho, Nebraska, Massachusetts, and South Dakota. The leftover states have other problems, like Michigan has Great Lake coastlines, which fits Springfield also having a massive lake, but it doesn't have an ocean, meaning landlocked. No ocean, no good. Get out of here, Michigan. Then you have Minnesota, which is too cold. Missouri has river systems, and New Jersey, come on. If Springfield was really a New Jersey of all places, don't you think we'd know it? Everybody would be walking around with an I Heart New Jersey shirt. Now, for all that out of the way, we have 22 states left, including Washington, Oregon, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma, Iowa, Arkansas, Louisiana, Wisconsin, Mississippi, Illinois, Indiana, Alabama, Georgia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Vermont, Rhode Island, Connecticut. Whew, it's more than I thought, damn. But if you look at the map right now, you can see a few problems instantly, the landlocked states. So there goes Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma, Iowa, and Arkansas. Moving on to the deep south, which is Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Yeah, I know, they all have coastlines, but we get to pleasantly eliminate these states due to a small clue that geography gives us. Look at Season 12, Episode 8, Skinner's Sense of Snow, or Season 4, Episode 9, Mr. Plow, or even Season 8, Episode 12, Mountain of Madness. These are all episodes that clearly shows that Springfield experiences full winter conditions with sustained snow cover. Mississippi and Louisiana don't get that kind of winter, neither does Alabama or Georgia, and definitely not consistently enough to normalize it the way Springfield does. So these states are definitely not representing Springfield in any way. And thank goodness, because imagine if Springfield was in Alabama. Now, for Wisconsin and Indiana, the Midwest heavyweights. Both are landlocked from the ocean. Wisconsin at least touches the Great Lakes, but there's no visible shoreline, and Indiana has no ocean access whatsoever. So they're knocked out. West Virginia has Appalachian Mountains, but it's landlocked. There's no ocean, as Springfield has confirmed maritime shipping infrastructure in multiple episodes, including Season 4, Episode 19, The Front. Now, for the Northeast cluster, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Vermont, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. I'm gonna break it up into sections, starting with Pennsylvania, which is landlocked, so no good. For Vermont, it has no ocean access and limited for New Hampshire. Connecticut and Rhode Island are weird because they have great coastlines, but if we take Season 9, Episode 1, the city of New York versus Homer Simpson into consideration, then New York wouldn't feel like a trip or even a distant city. I mean, Connecticut literally borders New York, so they are also out. Lastly, I'm just putting it out there, Springfield is not in Hawaii, so if your bets were on that, you're so far off, please don't start gambling, you're not gonna make it far. So with that being said, we have our top 3 states, Washington, Illinois, and Oregon. We're almost at the end of this crazy mystery, so let's narrow it down even further. If you didn't know, there are over 5,000 public airports in the United States, and only around 150 to 200 of those are major commercial airports that handle consistent large-scale passenger traffic. And an even smaller number function as fully independent international capable hubs that aren't overshadowed by a dominant nearby mega airport. Now look at how Springfield Airport behaves in the show. In Season 10, Episode 23, 30 Minutes Over Tokyo, the Simpsons board a direct international flight to Japan from Springfield. There's no connecting flight gag. Springfield Airport operates like a self-contained international airport. If Springfield were in Washington State, especially anywhere in Western Washington, the dominant airport would be Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. It's one of the largest and busiest hubs in the country. Any smaller city in Washington with international access typically routes through Seattle. But Springfield Airport isn't framed as a secondary hub. It's a primary route to any place outside Springfield itself. And Washington State doesn't really allow for that unless Springfield is Seattle, which it clearly isn't. If Springfield were in Washington, statistically and logistically, international travel would almost certainly involve Seattle. So Washington State is out. And that leaves us with a standoff between Oregon and Illinois. Choosing a winner between these 2 states is actually a lot harder than you may think, because theoretically they both can be Springfield. Let's look at the facts. There's literally a real Springfield in Illinois, and it's even the state capital. It has government buildings, industrial enough to have factories and power plants, and small enough that everybody knows everybody. Now, if I've convinced you that Illinois could be the real location of Springfield, then I'm really sorry, because once you bring back the non-negotiables like the confirmed ocean coastlines, the consistent sharp mountain ranges shown multiple times, then Illinois starts to not make any sense. So with all the states being eliminated, that leaves us with one state remaining. It's obviously Oregon. It fits Springfield really well. The mountains, the coastline, the infrastructure, just everything about Oregon on a geographical level screams Springfield. Then there's also the fact the creator of The Simpsons, Matt Groening, is from Oregon, more specific, Portland, Oregon. And Matt even named countless characters in the show of the street names in Oregon. Now, if you are disappointed that Oregon is the true location of Springfield, then don't be, because it's just a theory. There are no states in America that has everything from Springfield. And that's why the real location of Springfield is fictional. There's a reason why the writers have kept the secret for so long, and it's to make the viewers feel like they could be in Springfield. And who knows, maybe Springfield's real location is just the friends we made along the way. If you enjoyed today's video, then hit that like button and subscribe. It genuinely helps me more than you think, and it keeps these deep investigations coming. And now I want to hear from you. Where do you think Springfield really is? Did I miss something? Is there a clue I overlooked? Or are you still convinced it's somewhere completely different? I'll see you guys in the next video.